Hey y'all, it's your cousin. So I'm just coming here to check in with y'all. Let's just chat about what's going on out there in them streets now. Let me first start off by saying, we are introduced to a new character on Atlanta Street Interviews by the name of Lex. And during video two, I wasn't able to see one, two or three. Ants tells Marcus that you are the devil, that you did try to tempt Polo three times. That's my commentary, okay? Now we know that we heard the woman call in on Troy's World and say that, but who correlated it with the Bible? I've been going around on these YouTube streets and I see a lot of y'all using my commentary, but y'all won't reference my name. Now I understand that I have a little channel, okay? All right, I got a 9 to 5. I am not trying to make this my full-time gig. But anyway, y'all need to reference me, okay? The Roxbox Live. Okay, if you can't remember, you could also say Roxy. I'm just saying, a lot of y'all using my commentary and not referencing me at all. But big ups to Troy for referencing me, okay? I just want to say that. Now back to the regular scheduled program. Okay, so we meet, like I said, we meet this new character named Lex on Atlanta Street Interviews. Marcus had like 3 videos. I didn't really catch the first one. The only thing I saw is that it was 4 a.m. and they meet Lex by some brick wall. All right, I was able to get the full video of 2 and 3. So, so we meet this girl. She tells her background. She basically had a maybe slightly abusive, maybe it was just discipline, hard discipline, upbringing. She used to fight a lot, whatever. She went to high school. She didn't even have to graduate from high school. She didn't have to tell us that. She's very well spoken. So she obviously reads books, unlike someone else we know, Kash. But however, she shares that she did not go off to college. What she did do is link up with some man in prison, falls in love with him, never having had sex with him. So my take on this is that she is book smart, but she's relational dumb. She might be the type of girl that will be willing to do any and everything for a man. That's my take. Now she has a monitor on her ankle. I don't even know. I don't know if she discussed how she got that monitor on her ankle or not. But more than likely, when it comes to a woman, it's a man. Okay, she was connected to some man. I bet you, it's a man. Okay, she gives me that type. She's willing to do anything and everything for a man. But just my take on her. So this is what I get from reading her, and I might be off. Y'all can correct me. So there's a lot of girls in Atlanta not just girls, men in Atlanta like this. She gives me the possible like creative type who, like I said, didn't go off to college, who's betting on their talent, so they have no real 9 to 5, no real true steady income. So they're betting on their talents, and being that she's a woman, probably betting on their body, using what she got to get what she wants. So she gives me that. Also, like I said, doing anything for a man. So my question is, who is she connected to? You outside at 4 a.m. by a brick wall. You definitely not sharing the goodness of God. So you're doing something. I'm thinking you're selling something. I know they did not come and clarify this, that whether or not she was a 304, but it's giving 304 to me. Now, she might not be this bad, but she gives me this. Okay, now. She gives me a setup queen. I don't know if she's that bad. And when I mean setup queen, I'm talking about the type that, she's linked up with some men, and they send her out there to find some food. She brings them back, lures him back to her house, and then they come and run down on him. She gives me real setup queen vibes, real 304 setup queen vibes. Now, I was watching, I think, video 3 or 4, and I went down in the comments, and a lot of people said that Ant is so disrespectful to women. Now, I'm not going to really go against that, but what I will say is that he approaches her, converses with her with how she is presenting herself. And I understand women going to say, well, you can dress how you want. Well, she got a little inexpensive little stretch piece on, but This is in the middle of the night. You meet men. You have no hesitancy to jump in a man's car. Um, and you're very just open. And then Marcus says there's no line in her dress. She's just too free. It's given 304. Now, she might be a woman, but she definitely ain't a lady. I don't think Aunt interacted with her outside of how she is actually presenting herself. Even when she gets out of the car and he did do the whole little choking motion, whatever, she liked it, okay? It was given 304. Now, like I said, she said also that she owns rental properties and everything, and maybe she does, okay? And I'm not one who really just like to talk about a woman's appearance, but it's not given that. It's given that she's barely getting by. Now, a lot of us right now with this economy is barely getting by, but from the head down to the toes, okay? The hair's not did. And then she was talking about, oh, I should put on my lashes and my nails. They're not did. I would not have pointed that out had she not mentioned it. And then I looked at the shoes. They were like some UGG slide-ons. Woman, it has been 90 degrees in Atlanta. Why are you walking around with UGG slide-ons? Maybe, and they really thick, so maybe she has been beating the pavement. Her feet hurt or something. I'm not sure. But like I said, it's given, she's definitely a woman, but definitely not a lady. A lady, first of all, is not just going to jump in your car. And then the way these men sit around and just talk about this lady as if they own her. And I dare say, lady, this woman, like, as if they owned her. And she is in the back seat just like, no hesitancy. She is very comfortable in that environment. I mean, now I know y'all want to talk about Ant. We know he liked to drink a little bit too much. But if you put me in a room with Ant, Marcus, or a bear, let's take the bear out of it. The bear would be the safest. I would trust Ant more than I would trust Marcus, okay? Ant ain't gonna go too far. I think Ant is just straight up. He is who he is. But you gotta watch Marcus. Marcus is real slick. And Ant ain't a dumb man. He drunk. But he be calling Marcus out. But Ant calls Marcus out on the things that's already out there. Y'all see how slick Marcus is. He's going to sit up there and mention SA, talking about how he hit that girl on the butt. Talking about that's an HR incident. Marcus is a type that'll tell you to look over there while he over here doing something else. Real slick, like. And then the way Marcus is just fucking creepy, okay? The way he's just sitting there talking about that girl, it gives me real old man talking to like the underage. She's so beautiful. Hold on. Oh, she's a professional. She's a seductress, a temptress. You know how you trying to big somebody up so you can now just go ahead and try to get in them draws or something. It's kind of like how that old man tells a little 16 years old girl, you so mature. You so grown for your age. It's real creepy like. But she don't mind it because she about that life. Now, I know it hasn't been clarified, solidified, but it's given 304 to me. Okay. Then Aunt mentions, did you take him to the condo? And she said, oh, no, it's booked. In the middle of the night. Is this her rental property? Or is this girl without housing? Now, I'm not necessarily one to judge, but I might judge every now and then. Does she have somewhere to stay? I'm not sure about that. You can't just put a little inexpensive one piece in front of me and say men gotta spend on you. And then you mention soft life, baby. It ain't getting soft life at all. Before you asking for soft life, you gotta come with something. It's really giving struggle bus. And men can see it. You don't think Marcus will see it? He definitely gonna play on it. I don't know, but all I'll say is either just really struggle busing or it's a setup queen. I don't know. Then I took a stroll over there to Troy's World last night because he had a call-in show where he discussed how, basically us women had our panties, I guess, in a bunch or wad, because Kash decided she wanted to come to this good old YouTube and make herself seem like she is better than women. Now, what got me? First of all, shout out to Troy for at least putting me up there. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the best picture, but y'all, I don't be caring. Sometimes I come on here how I want to come on here. But let me tell you something. When a girl steps out, she really steps out. I'm known for my fashions, but anyways. He had me up there with my two ponytails about to go to the gym in the T-Waves. So he had a call-in show last night where he discussed how women didn't find it, they didn't appreciate how Kash want to sit up here, want to imitate us, but then want to talk about us, because she can take all of our mans and stuff, and she can tell us how we need to look and what type of surgery we don't need to have. But anyways, but was it me? Because I kind of struggled, okay? It seemed like at least 80 to 85%, I'm putting a percentage on it. Most of the callers were drunk, under the influence or something, because it wasn't given what it should have gave. There was a few that came, especially one came on there with some good thoughts and whatever. But what I did not appreciate is how these biological women want to call into his show and talk about how we just angry. Now, y'all might not like my take on this, but I'm going to give it in T-Ways, okay? Now, black women are some welcoming people. We invite people into our community. We protect them. We have been protecting these trans women since they were little bitty boys. And in fact, some have more allegiance to the LGBT, alphabet community than they have to heterosexual black men, okay? The only time they want to believe a heterosexual black man is when the trans, when he's saying he ain't sleeping with the trans woman. That's the only time, okay? I don't feel that we were angry at all. Only thing I did was smack her on the hands a little bit. How are you going to be invited into our community and you're going to disrespect the originals, your predecessor? Okay, now I understand she wanted to pop her big one, but watch what you say, because you might have somebody like me who's going to say something back. That's all. But I have no hate at all for Kash. In fact, I feel that she is a fairly decent looking trans person who needs to go, partake in some hooked on phonics. But no hate at all. No hate. Well, that's all for me, y'all. The only thing I am waiting for this. What Troy needs to do, I'm telling the grown man what he need to do. Troy, get Polo Mama on the line. I am waiting for whoever gets that interview. Oh my goodness. I might send you a Cash App that night. I am really waiting for that. That's it. That's all, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.